What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with Andrew Jagged, who has been the most quiet guy in that potential first Olympia call out. So just because Andrew hasn't been posting any updates, not even a sneak peek. I mean, we literally haven't seen a single physique update from Andrew Jagged in months now. But thanks to Muscle Discord, who had the former 212 Olympia champion Kamal on the podcast, who has been assisting Andrew Jagged with his training during this year's Olympia prep. So Kamal is creating some massive hype for Andrew Jagged by saying that Andrew's hamstrings and the glutes, they are looking 100% dialed in, better than they have ever been throughout his bodybuilding career, and they are looking more diced than they have ever looked even on the stage.
You're telling me right now that his hamstrings and his glutes are better than they've ever been at this point?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Breaking news right here.
It's not just me saying it. That's
Yeah.
even Chris, you know.
Now, do not forget that Andrew Jagged is so genetically gifted that even a very confident guy like the Mutant, he went on the record saying that if Andrew is successful in filling some gaps in his physique, he's gonna beat us all. Now, that statement was made a couple of years back, and Andrew, we all know, has improved plenty in the past couple of years. And the one thing that these guys haven't figured out is nailing the conditioning 100%. And Kamal is a guy who also has an awesome eye for bodybuilding. He himself was a conditioning freak and he knows what he's talking about. And you have got to agree with Kamal when he said that Andrew is untouchable in some of the front shots, like the abs and thigh, the front lat spread, and possibly the front double too, if he's peaked perfectly. So the best Andrew has placed so far at the Olympia, that is top 5. Now that isn't worthy of his genetic gifts, and maybe this is the year where Andrew might shock us all and he might win the whole damn thing if he's actually 100% on, if he is truly conditioned. Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am. Next up, we have an update from Brandao. So the puffy off-season look, that is in full flow, which is 100% understandable, as Brandao has announced that he will be eyeing the Arnold 2026 as the show where he will make his comeback. So he did the same back in 2024 when he took the whole year off in order to put on some muscle, some mass, and he did. He made some big positive jumps in his physique in that 1 year, and he looked pretty damn awesome at the Arnold Ohio last year, where he got compared to Hadi Chopin and Samson Dauda. Now some people, especially his fans, they were extremely disappointed on Brandao skipping the Olympia this year, despite having the Olympia qualification. But considering the fact that he did not have an ideal off-season because he was dealing with some gut issue, some stomach problems, it may have been a good call because it is highly unlikely that Brandao would have placed as high as top 8 this year, looking at the depth of the competition this time. So Brandao has one of the most beautiful and one of the most aesthetic physique in the men's open bodybuilding. And that is a type of physique that will fight for the Olympia title once he puts on enough size, enough mass on that frame. Now that is a big if. And not every IFBB pro out there, they have the genetics to get as big as Samson Dauda or Andrew Jagged, while at the same time maintaining all that symmetry, all those classic lines. Just look at the progression of Samson Dauda from 2021 to 2025, and look at Brandao, who actually beat Samson Dauda back in 2021. I personally do not think that Brandao has the genetics to get bigger and thicker up to a point where he becomes an Olympia title contender. But let me know what you guys think. Next up, we have an update from the Mutant Nick Walker. So he just looks very different and in a very positive way. His muscles are looking very round, very bubbly, and he isn't looking even close to being flat, even this close to the show. Now we know that's not a fair comparison between two of these guys, Samson Dauda and the Mutant, but this pretty much gives an idea on how hard and grainy Nick Walker is looking compared to Samson Dauda. Now, I'm not implying that the grainy quality That is his ticket to win this year's Olympia title. But there is a guarantee that nobody is touching Nick Walker in terms of his overall muscularity. So another post made by Nick Walker clearly indicating that he won't be happy to take even second place. He wants to be crowned the Olympia champion this year, and the man is doing everything in his power to make that happen. So, if Nick Walker is able to create the illusion of having a smaller waistline because he's looking very wide on the shoulders, then that can actually be a game changer for him. Now, I am still wondering how anyone out there in that first Olympia call-out that can handle that kind of muscularity on the stage standing next to him. His most muscular is one of the most impressive shots in the entire men's open. And the same can be said about the back double biceps. And looking back at the Pittsburgh Pro, he did beat Derek in the abs and thigh too. So what do you guys think? Is the mutant being overconfident, or does he has a legit shot at winning this year's Olympia title? Next up, we have a 12 days out physique update from the former Classic Physique Olympia champion Breon. So he gets the title of Mr. Consistency in Classic Physique division, a true legend of this class, ready to compete in his 10th consecutive Mr. Olympia, which in itself is a unique record. So he's back with his trainer Chris Cormier, going through some of the final training sessions. Now we know the judges, they wanna see bigger quads, more quad sweep from Breon, which in my opinion isn't possible for him because of two major reasons. First of all, his age, but more importantly, his weight cap. But you can bet that Breon is gonna show up in his trademark crispy conditioning, and once again, he's gonna make a case for another top 5 finish for him for this year's Olympia. So the level of competition, that is a lot tougher compared to previous years, even though Ors and Chris Bumstead, they aren't there this time. But the level of separation that Breon has, the level of quality, especially when it comes to his arms, the back, that is still one of the best out there. And look at the depth on those hamstrings. The man is right where he needs to be, less than 2 weeks out. So Breon will show up, more or less in that similar shape as 2024. Now his placings, they will be kind of dependent on how some of these other guys, like Logan, Nal Darwin, how they all show up. So James Hollingshead just made it official that he's in for British Grand Prix, which is scheduled just 1 week after the Olympia this year. So James kind of had a very disappointing showing at this past France Pro, where he was unable to make top 5, and many said that he was in shape, but he just wasn't full enough. So now that the fat is completely off, him and his new coach, they can play around with his look for this next show and maybe improve on his placings. So can he win? Well, just looking at the athletes who are confirmed for that show, like Michael Krizo, most of us will be truly shocked if he's able to beat a massive guy like Krizo, whose strengths are the biggest weaknesses of a guy like James. Now the arms on James and shoulders, they have been looking very down and very flat, especially recently. And Krizo has those monstrous delts and very big arms. Nevertheless, France Pro was James' first show with a new coach, and he himself was very satisfied with that look. So let's wait and see how much improvements James can make, especially in terms of his peak with another 2.5 weeks time. So he will have to be 100% on, and Krizo will have to come in very off in order for James to win that show. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.